Leading off for Georgetown will be the center fielder, number 28, Jacob Desarn. Trying to get everything a little situated here as we're playing split duty at Cutter Sports Complex today. Your Grenadier softball team also in action in a conference doubleheader against Midway just across the street. So first pitch from Reynolds is low, and we are off and running here. Desarn pops that one. The wind takes that one a lot further than I thought it was initially, but long there and plenty of time to make the catch. So one batter, one out for Cade Reynolds, and that'll bring up the left fielder now, Landon Dismang. All set the defense for the Grenadiers. From left to right in the outfield is Colin Long, Luke Powell, and Braden Hazelwood. As the first pitch to Dismang is going to be in there for a called strike. Your infield is as normal as it has been the last 2 months. You have Slater Shield at third, Cody Putnam at short. That one kind of missed off the glove of Casey Brown, the catcher. But as I was saying, Shield, Putnam, then Burdett and Flock on the right side of the infield. And your battery mate with Cade Reynolds is number 29, Casey Brown. That one fouled off by Dismang. You already saw Desarn lead things off, followed by then now Dismang. And rest of the order goes Chapman, Chaneller, Cazorla, Rios, Von Thaden, Sanders, and Vincent for Georgetown. Cut on and miss. Big strike three there from Cade Reynolds. As that'll bring up, like I said, now the second baseman, number 2, Jarrett Chapman. Good first couple batters here by Reynolds. Would love to have himself a good, strong finish to the season. Does a good job of getting ahead there. Chapman watches the first two, both of them for called strikes, so quickly behind the count. And the 0-2 pitch from Reynolds. That one's going to be chopped. Coming in is Shield and a throw over and plenty of time. So a great first inning there for Cade Reynolds. Goes up and down in order. So we'll head to the bottom of the first here in New Albany. No score. Ethan Burdett will lead things off for IU Southeast, and he will face starting pitcher for Georgetown, number 35, Jared Casebeer. First pitch to Burdett will be a called strike. Casebeer, this is going to be just his second start of the year, his 6th appearance. That one will miss in. Does have a 9 even ERA in just 9 innings, so that one's yanked in the other batter's box. Casebeer, the junior from Irvine, California, looking to make a good push in the latter part of his season. That one off the hands a little bit, but with this one, that's going to push out into straight away left field and caught. Brings up Mason White. Let me set the outfield for Georgetown. Left to right is Landon Dismang, as you just saw make that play. And center is Jacob Desarn. And your right fielder is Brian Sanders. The infield for Georgetown. Left to right will be Rios, Vincent, Chapman, and Chaneller. And good block there by the battery mate of Casebeer, Von Thaden. That one smoked, and is that going to get through the wind? It's back, and it is gone. Solo shot for Mason White. That'll be his 14th bomb of the year and his team-leading 56th RBI, as that one got out of here in a hurry. With as aggressive as this wind is blowing out to straight left, wasn't sure if that was going to get knocked down by the wind, but that did not matter as Mason slugs that one straight through on a line shot to right center. I'll bring up Luke Powell, and he's hacking his first pitch, and that's going to be foul. Good bounce back here by Casebeer. That one not particularly close, bounces in front of the plate. But a good waist pitch. That's a great sign to see if you're Grenadier fans, as Mason White staying back or getting back right on the train that he was on after getting a little banged up this past weekend. But that one's going to be caught in right field. What a play from the right fielder Sanders, as he's going to dive and make a play that's going to take away extra bases from Luke Powell. What an effort from the Georgetown right fielder. I make way for Cody Putnam, and Sanders from Inglewood, California, the senior, made a fantastic play there, and that was, with the speed of Luke Powell, that was a for sure double, possible triple, as that one was just kind of slicing away from Sanders. That one cut on a missed healthy hack there by Cody Putnam. The 1-1 pitch here from Casebeer. That one well outside. 2 outs for Georgetown, as they're looking to get out of this inning with just the 1 run. As we finally have a home midweek matchup here for the baseball team. And that one's going to be grounded softly to short and throwing plenty of time from Austin Vincent. So Grenadiers will go down, but not before Mason White gets his 14th of the year. And we will head to the top of the second. Grenadiers lead this one 1-0. First baseman Hank Schneller going to lead off for Georgetown. Schneller coming into this one hitting .234 batting average. Does have 21 RBIs. Handful of long balls to his credit as well. Reynolds back out for his second inning. See what kind of leash he'll get today. How far Brett Neffendorf can extend him. As I was saying, the last half of the inning, Grenadiers with a rare midweek baseball game this year. As weather has affected so many of them. Could not have asked for a better day today. Schneller swings and misses that one, runs the count to 1-2. And the pitch from Reynolds. Something off speed in the dirt. Good job there by Brown. And a better hold by Schneller. 2-2. That one called strike 3, and a good pitch there by the Grenadier senior. As he'll get Schneller down looking. Now that'll bring up the designated hitter today, number 40, Jose Cazorla. First pitch swinging for him. As he swings right through it. Cazorla, .230 on the year. Does have 6 doubles and a homer. As that one's going to be through the right side. And the Tigers are going to have their first hit of the afternoon. Runner on first with 1 out for the third baseman, Peyton Rios. Rios awaits his first pitch. He will watch it high. Say the Grenadiers may have caught a break by not seeing the buzzsaw in the lineup of Josh Duarte, the Tigers' leading hitter, not in the lineup to start things off today. That one skied into right center. On it is Powell, and they're in plenty of time. That one just kind of ballooned there as it hit the crosswind. But that'll be the second out nonetheless. And makes way for the catcher, Von Thaden. Right back to the zone is Reynolds as he gets ahead of Von Thaden here. 0-1. Still runner on first. Good block there from Casey Brown. Tigers caught a little bit of a bad break even coming into this one, as hit a decent amount of traffic on their way from Georgetown, Kentucky into New Albany, going through Louisville Metro, as we're a little late getting in. Some heavy traffic. A little show and go situation is what they had, so see if they can battle through maybe the lack of a normal routine. As Reynolds is ahead 1-2 here. Love to find another strikeout. Pitch well outside. They'll even it up at 2-2. The lovely part of midweek baseball games is trying to navigate classes and travel when the buses or vans are leaving. Not the easiest thing to do, even when you have a shorter trip like this one. Good job by Von Thaden to stay alive in battle. The trip from Georgetown, right around probably an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less. So as far as midweek trips go, probably one you love to take as a athlete where you're not having to sit for 2-3 hours in a bus. Von Thaden continues to battle. He's not going to go away easily. Another 2-2 pitch from Reynolds. That one chopped to short. Putnam fields and throws across in plenty of time. So Tigers will strand one, but we head to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 IU Southeast here in New Albany. We'll be back in a moment. Colin Long will face Case Beer for the first time to lead things off in the bottom of the second for IU Southeast. Long sliding into the middle of the order today. Has been a really consistent staple at the bottom, but especially in a midweek after Grenadiers lose their first series since the first of the year this past weekend. Brett F. North trying to switch things up a little bit. Long, 348 hitter coming into today. Oh, that one's going to sail right over his head. Case Beer been a little erratic thus far, not able to command the zone as of yet. And that one's going to be lofted into right field, and that's going to be down the line, extra bases for Colin Long. Misplayed in right field by Sanders, but good job to recover and get it in quickly. So that'll be a leadoff double for Colin Long. So after the leadoff double from Long, we'll have runner in scoring position for the first baseman, Max Flock. Flock second on the team in RBIs with the 31. Just a small 23 behind Mason White. And that's not a slight at Max Flock by any means. That just kind of puts into perspective the type of season Mason White is having as he adds to that today with his solo shot in the first. Flock would love to find a knock here and try to keep pace with the senior. Finds himself ahead in the count, 2-0. From Case Beer. That one's skied behind home. Von Thaden has a play and will make the catch as that happened right below me. Couldn't exactly see it, but I don't have to see it for it to count as an out, so that'll bring up the Grenadier catcher now, Casey Brown. Good breaking ball there from Case Beer. Held off by Brown, however, for ball one. Good challenge pitch on the inner half. Called strike by the home plate umpire. The 1-1. Two and one count for Casey Brown. That one smoked and off the glove of the third baseman as Long's going to advance to third. That was hit hard, but that's going to be an error on Rios at third base. We'll have a courtesy runner now for Casey Brown in the form of sophomore Alex Yurt. Brayden Hazelwood will get his first crack at things. Not before a move over from Case Beer, but back in plenty of time was Yurt. That one's hit high. Did he get enough of it? Should be deep enough to score the run. And the throw will come to the middle of the field, so that's going to be a sacrifice fly for Braden Hazelwood as the Grenadiers' lead grows to 2. So a good, productive at bat there for the senior. Good first pitch breaking ball, called strike to Slater Shield. Slater flips his spot in the lineup, goes from the top in this past weekend series, and see if he can't do something from the bottom, and he's going to keep things rolling. So they always say your 9 holes like a second leadoff, and that'll stay true for the Grenadiers as Shield will get a 2-out base knock to turn it over to Ethan Burdett. Oh, and that one's going to be in the dirt. Good effort from Von Thaden, but unable to keep it close enough. So Yurt and Shield will advance a base apiece. That one's a little in and up. Good eye here from Burdett. As he has a 3-0 count, you'd think K-Spear may want to do anything he can to battle back here, because the last guy you want to face with the bases loaded is standing on deck in the form of Mason White. But that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So bases loaded now for IU Southeast. Mason White has an opportunity to extend his lead on team RBIs. Already the solo shot in the first. See if he can't do something to try to crack this one open. K-Spear obviously has other ideas. Good breaking ball in there for called strike. That's a good way to start if you're K-Spear. Sacks are packed for IU Southeast. That one, another good breaking ball. So K-Spear must have learned from the first at-bat not to groove a fastball, as he comes back with a couple above-average breaking balls and is ahead in the count. Looking to wiggle out of the jam. Another good one, but that one Mason doesn't bite on. The 1-2 pitch. That one's hit high, didn't get all of it. Coming in to make the catch is the center fielder, DeZarn. So K-Spear does a good job to wiggle out of trouble there and limit the Grenadiers only to a single run as we head to the top of the third. IU Southeast leads 2-0 here in New Albany. Right fielder Brian Sanders get his first chance against Cade Reynolds today. And he'll put the first pitch he sees in play. Not the easiest play, as coming in and making the catch was Max Flock, as that was not the easiest play, especially right into the sun. But good job from Reynolds. One pitch, one out. That brings up Austin Vincent, the shortstop. Vincent, 288 on the year. Hits that one well. Back and just before the track, and there to make the catch is Luke Powell. Wind seems to have set down for a second, so I thought that one had a chance. Tells you what I know. Lineup turns over to the top in the form of Jacob Desarn. Looking for his first hit. Desarn, a 301 batter on the year. Third on the team in hits with... Oh, misread the wrong line. Third on the team in batting average, rather. But he finds himself ahead 3-0 here. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk. So a good job by the top of the Tiger order to keep things going with 2 outs. Landon Dismang came into today hitting .333. He is the one that is third on the team in hits with 34. First pitch to him is a good fastball on the outside corner from Reynolds. Pickoff attempt back in plenty of time was Desarn. Off is Desarn. That one's hit well into the gap, giving chase is Colin Long back on the track and will make the play. So Dismang gives that one a charge, but not enough juice to leave the yard. That'll be the third out. So we'll head to the bottom of the third. The score remains 2-0 IU Southeast here in New Albany. We'll be back in a moment. Luke Powell hopes to get the offense started again for the Grenadiers in the bottom of the third. Case Beer back out for Georgetown. Gets right back to work and ahead of Powell. Powell robbed of some extra bases in the first inning. Great catch by the right fielder Brian Sanders, diving towards the line. Powell hitting .274, starting to find his footing as of late. That one's hit well to center and kind of cutting across. That's got a chance to get out off the wall, and that's going to be extra bases for Luke Powell. Not going to be robbed that time, as that one just misses a home run, and that'll be a leadoff double for the senior. And now brings up the shortstop, Cody Putnam. Say Powell was on his horse. He was thinking extra bases the whole way. The wind just kind of kept taking that one. A good effort by the center fielder, Desarn, to try to track it down, but it just kept fading and tailing away from him. Cody Putnam, .281 batting average coming into today. Does have 22 RBI and 3 homers to his own credit. Had himself a good weekend as pickoff attempt, not in time. Couple hits and 4 RBIs in the series finale against IU Kokomo. The Grenadiers were able to salvage the last game, which could prove to be very important when it comes to this final weekend of the regular season, as that last win keeps them tied in the standings with Kokomo. He'll foul that one off himself. Those never feel good. Even with the Evo Shield. One pitch from Case Beer. Breaking ball around the zone. So that'll run it to 2-1. Beautiful day here in New Albany, Indiana. 83 and absolutely sunny. Another pickoff attempt. Good strong throw from Case Beer, but back in time was Powell. With the shoddy weather we've had this spring, you'll take a lovely warm Wednesday. That one's smoked. That's going to get down the line and should be extra bases. One hops off the wall, and that's going to be an RBI double for Cody Putnam. That'll make the Grenadier lead 3-0. Putnam replaces Powell at second base. Still no one out for Colin Long. Long doubled to right field in his last at bat. As action starts to brew in the Georgetown bullpen. Squares the bunt, pulls back, but a wild pitch will move Putnam to third. And we're going to have a visit here from Chad Miller. So we'll be back in just a moment. Just a brief conversation, so back to the action. Runner on third, nobody out. And a 1-0 count for Colin Long. Good bounce back pitch there from Case Beer. That one fouled off of Long, and he takes a tumble. That one didn't feel good. I think he may just be giving himself a second. That one stung. Didn't seem to be limping or anything as he got up, so I think he just taking a second to collect himself. Skipper Brett Neffendorf comes out to check on his left fielder. He'll be all right, and he'll be back in the box. Count 1-2. Pitch. Smoked down the line, just foul. That ball was hammered. Case Beer will catch a break there, as that would have been extra bases and another Grenadier run. Another 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball through the left side. Not extra bases, but the run will come through all the same. Score now 4-0 IU Southeast, as Colin Long gets himself a single through the left side and an RBI. And that's going to be it for Jared Casebeer. Already 2 runs across here before the Grenadiers getting out. So we're going to have a pitching change, and we'll come back with that in just a moment here on the Grenadier Sports Network. It'll be number 29, Ashton Deskins, the sophomore from Del Barton, West Virginia, taking over for Georgetown. And Long is off, and he's going to be safe. So a stolen base for Colin Long. And that'll move Move him into scoring position. Still nobody out. Healthy swing and a miss there from Max Flock. Flock looking for his first hit today. Foul out to the catcher in his last at-bat. Ooh, breaking ball there, just missed. One and two count to Flock. Pretty hefty shift from the outfield, playing him in the right center gap. But that's not going to matter as he's going to go down swinging. So, good job by Dayskins. Brings up Casey Brown. He'll watch his first pitch high. Deskin's been up in the zone, worked for Flock. See if he has any of the same success against Brown. Finds the zone that time. And it's a good, strong fastball by the sophomore. Grenadier catcher finds himself ahead in the count, 2-1. Looking to cash in on that runner at second base. That one misses high, 3-1. And that'll be another walk for Casey Brown. So we'll have a courtesy runner in the form of Alex Yurt again. Say Casey Brown in just his 28th at bat finds his on base percentage shade above 420. Trying to make the most of the opportunities he's getting, especially as he makes the push towards the postseason and all the roster decisions that'll come for Brett Neffendorf. First pitch to Brazen Hazelwood is a good breaking ball from Deskins. Hazelwood also looking to get things going offensively. He'll be the first to tell you not quite the campaign he's hoped for coming into this year, but he understands that none of that really matters, especially once you get to the postseason. That's all about making the big hits at those key moments. That's a good chance to try to get a big hit here. That one's down the line. It's deep, but I think it's going to get out of play, and it will. So a healthy hack there from Braden Hazelwood will even things up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Good breaking ball from Deskins, but held off by Hazelwood. Full count to the Grenadier senior. Payoff. That one's fouled back, and we'll have another one. Another payoff from Deskins. Cut on and missed. Good breaking ball. Von Thaden tries to get a little greedy and throws down to try to get himself a little double play picked off, but Yurt is back in plenty of time. It'll be Slater Shield looking to extend the inning and see if he can't cash in on that runner from second base. And I'm going to get some help from Deskins as that's a breaking ball spiked. And I'll get by Von Thaden. So both runners now in scoring position. Strong fastball, cut on and missed. That one's hit into right, but they're in plenty of time to make the catch is Brian Sanders. So good job by sophomore Deskins to come out and get out of the jam. As Grenadiers only allow the two, or Grenadiers only get the two, rather, and their lead extends to 4-0 as we head to the top of the fourth here in New Albany. It'll be Jarrett Chapman here in the top of the fourth inning. Cade Reynolds out for his fourth inning of work. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Reynolds may have gotten a gracious call there. I thought that one appeared a little inside. Follows it up, though, with a much better breaking ball. That one cut on and missed. So quickly 0-2 to Chapman. The 0-2 pitch. That one's hit right on the button, but right at Luke Powell. So that'll be another leadoff batter retired for Cade Reynolds. And makes way for the Tiger first baseman, Hank Schneller. Schneller, third on this Georgetown team in RBIs. does have 4 home runs to his credit. Gonna try to get the offense started for the Tigers. And that's a good chance as that one's hit high and far, and that's out of here. Make that home run number 5 for Hank Schneller as Georgetown cuts into the lead 4-1 now. That fastball just grooved by Cade Reynolds, and Hank Schneller did not miss it as that cleared the scoreboard. Even if the wind's not blowing out to left, that one's gone any day here. So Tigers get their first run of this one. First pitch swinging is the designated hitter, Jose Cazorla. He was trying to go back-to-back on back-to-back pitches. Fouls that one off his foot. See if Reynolds can settle back in. Good job thus far. Finds himself ahead 0-2. Reynolds looking for the strikeout. Cazorla gonna extend the at-bat at least another pitch as he continues to foul him off. That one's hit well to right field. Giving chase is Braden Hazelwood. That's going to get down for extra bases. Cazorla cruising into second, and that's going to be a one-out double for the designated hitter. So Georgetown starting to come around offensively. Back-to-back extra base hits. Solo shot by Schneller, and now the double from Cazorla. Brings up the third baseman, Peyton Rios, with a runner in scoring position and only one away. That one narrowly misses Rios, who would love to find his 20th RBI of the campaign. Reynolds has his sign and delivers. That one's smoked but foul. Just out in front of that one was Rios. As Reynolds catches a break there, is that one just foul by about a foot or two. Georgetown seems to have maybe found something here offensively. A 2-1 count to Rios. Reynolds looking to settle back in. Pitch. That one smoked, but snared there by Flock, so a good play will get an out as Cazorla will move to third base. So not a sacrifice for Rios, but it will work all the same, as he'll ground out 3 unassisted. And that brings up the catcher, Von Thaden. Good job there from Reynolds to get ahead. He needed that pitch. Grenadier dugout finding some life as that one's hit high and far. That one's got a chance to go. Giving chase is Powell. Gonna make the catch on the warning track and crashes into the wall. What a play there from the center fielder as Powell gave that one a run and jumps and leaps into the wall and secures the catch. So only the one run for Georgetown thanks to an absolute web gem by Luke Powell. So we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Grenadiers lead this one, score 4-1 now here in New Albany. We'll be back in a moment. Ethan Burdett. That one's going to catch a piece of him, as that'll be one pitch and one base runner for IU Southeast. I'm only doing one job now, so I'm trying to input the stats there as I'm joined by my good friend Logan Stevens. Logan, how's it going on this side of the street?
Oh, you know, it was a nice walk. It's pretty hot out there. We'll say that. Nice and humid. It's probably the hottest day we've had this year, but Grenadier offense also looks to be hot in this one.
And I'll bring up Mason White. Had the solo shot in the first. Unable to cash in for more RBIs in the second as he flew out to right field with the bases loaded. And he'll chase that pitch from Deskins.
Yeah, but Mason just continuing to hit the ball. It's just something we've seen all year long. Absolute missile for a home run. I believe that's 14 on the year now for him.
It is, and a team-leading 56th RBI. Finds himself ahead in the count, 2-1.
Big fan of him batting second in this lineup.
And that's just a good piece of hitting, as that's going to be a single through the left side. So the first two Grenadiers will be aboard in the bottom of the fourth, as makes way for you could call him a Gold Glove defender at least today, in Luke Powell after a fantastic catch to end the top of the fourth.
And it's funny how that works. Usually when you make a good defensive play, you always seem to be up to bat the next half inning or so. So let's see if he can kind of complete the duo there.
And he's going to try to bunt for a hit. That one will be foul, however. As I was saying earlier, Logan, Powell was trusted by Brett Neffendorf even through his offensive slides to really stay in that 3 or 4 hole for the majority of the year, but has really found his footing as of late and has started to really come around offensively, and you're seeing it now from him on both sides of the ball, even on the mound every now and then. That one through the right side. That should be an RBI, and it will be, as Burdett's going to come around to score.
Yeah, just what you were just talking about. Powell comes through once more.
So that lead right back to 4 for IU Southeast as it's now 5-1 Grenadiers.
I think that's a good point you make, though. We've seen Brett Neufendorf really keep the middle of the lineup intact for most of the season. Kind of like that Mason, Powell, Cody Putnam trio especially. I think he's flipped a couple of them, but they've been 2, 3, 4 for the majority of this year, and we've seen them come through time and time again.
Yeah, and that brings up Cody Putnam, who fouls that one straight back. If we're being honest, Logan really has the toughest job out of everyone, as he's not just because, I mean, if you're trying to protect Mason White with Luke Powell, that's great. So you're probably going to see less pitches to Mason, even though he's having a phenomenal year. So even on, limited quality pitches to hit. And then that trickles to Luke Powell as he gets going. So now you have Cody Putnam that's getting the, probably the best sequences out of anybody, especially in this lineup, because and this is no disrespect to Cody, because he's no one to just think lightly of.
Not at all.
So
yeah.
he just kind of gets the short end of the stick usually, as that one's hit high to right, should move a runner. But it won't, as White is just going to hang out at second. So good barrel there by Putnam, but just missed that one. Got a little under it. So that'll be the first out for IU Southeast. And now Colin Long, who's had himself a good afternoon already.
Yeah, Long up to the 5th spot. It's a guy that's really been coming through quite frequently for the Grenadiers. We saw him hitting 9th, earlier in the season, kind of in the 8-9 spot. But like you said, another guy Brett Neufendorf has trusted a lot, has a big swing and a miss there. And a lot of it was defensively early in the season. We saw him play a really, really good defensive left field. And then the bats really come around the past 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as it comes, there's not many better defensive outfields in the NAI, because you have Long in left, who's a former Gold Glover at Vincennes, which is junior college. You have Luke Powell, who, I mean, you've already seen today what he can do. And then your everyday center fielder has been Mason White, who's arguably conference player of the year. So really, really tough when you're looking to crack into the lineup in the outfield. But Long's going to watch that one for strike 3 as a good breaking ball. Gets a gracious call, but strike 3 nonetheless. So Deskins has done a good job to battle back after first 3 men reaching. Has now retired 2 in a row. And he finds himself ahead of Max Flock now. One pitch. And there's strike 2. Flock seems just a little out of sync so far today.
Yeah, not to make too much out of something, but, maybe playing at Georgetown last year. Maybe he's just trying to see some guys he knows, just trying to do a little too much out there maybe.
It's always possible in a return game. That one's hit well, but snared over there by the second baseman, Chapman, and he makes a great play to get Georgetown out of the inning. So Grenadiers scratch 1 across by the first 3 guys getting on. RBI from Luke Powell, and we'll head to the top of the 5th. IU Southeast leads 5-1. Sanders will show bunt, pull back, but called strike anyways. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Georgetown. As Cade Reynolds trying to settle back in after allowing his first run in the top of the last inning.
Yeah, nice to see Coach Neffendorf trust him to go back out for the fifth. Sometimes, usually, Cade throwing 4 innings or so, but relatively solid pitch count. So Brett trusted him to go out for the fifth.
Yeah, good pitch there. As I'm over here hitting the wrong buttons like I'm doing stats. Count moves to 1-2.
It's habitual. It's just muscle memory.
Breaking ball. We'll even it up 2-2. That one smoked to right field. Hazelwood's going to make the play as that one just got caught up in the wind. So it turns what should have been a routine play into a diving effort there from Hazelwood, and not on his fault, as that one just kind of died in the wind. But a good play there from Hazy, as that'll retire the leadoff and bring up the shortstop for Georgetown, number 6, Austin Vincent.
Yeah, that's one of those. He, first instinct goes back on it, and then he realizes he's got to make almost a horseshoe, come back around. Nice diving play. Nice job of keeping his eye on it, though, because you know how it is. And this is kind of where the sun's at right now. Very hard to find fly balls.
Absolutely, especially the way our field is situated. From home to center kind of looks pretty much northeast, right? So as the sun sets on the west, the right fielders and really the whole right side of the field just has a brutal time seeing anything at this time of day.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see the next couple innings, see if there's any balls kind of like that.
And to go with a difficult sun, we still have that very steady wind blowing out to straight left. So not the easiest situation. But that one chopped to Shield. Going to have to get rid of it. Throw in time. Good strong throw from Slater. And first 2 men are retired for Georgetown. But that brings up top of the order, center fielder Jacob DeZarn.
Yeah, really nice job so far by Cade Reynolds. It's easy. You give up a run in the previous inning, a pretty long home run to kind of drop your head a little bit, but nice job bouncing back, straight in a couple runners, and then gets the first 2 out in this one.
And right back to it as he gets ahead of the leadoff, DeZarn. Hefty swing there. Quickly 0-2.
They can get Cade Reynolds right headed into the end of this conference, into the conference tournament, and this team's going to be very dangerous on the pitching side.
Absolutely. 0-2. Good pitch just outside. That's a great challenge fastball 0-2. Just about a ball and a half worth off the plate. See what he decides to go to here. The pitch. Good job from DeZarn. DeZarn, rather. As I need some water up here, Logan. I keep having a little tickle in the back of the throat.
That's always fun as a broadcaster. Exactly what you want.
That one's hit well to left field. It's slicing away. There to make the catch is Colin Long, as that was going to be foul, but he'll take the out anyway. So good bounce back inning from Reynolds to go 3 up, 3 down as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Your Grenadiers lead 5-1 here in New Albany on the Grenadier Sports Network. It'll be Casey Brown, then Braden Hazelwood, followed by Slater Shield, due up for IU Southeast here in the bottom of the fifth. Have to give a shout out to our commander-in-chief for the cold waters. Thanks, Amanda. That one hit hard, and a good diving snare by Rios. Ooh. And a great play.
Wow.
Rios makes a good diving stop and then throws an absolute bullet in time. And honestly, got him by a step. Wasn't even bang, bang.
Well, I mean, that's just a nice job of knowing the runner. Because it's easy. You make a dive. I mean, it's easy to get up and try to rush the throw, but he got up, set his feet, threw a nice strike over there to first base.
So the leadoff man retired for IU Southeast, and that'll bring up Braden Hazelwood as, oh boy, is that hit far. Braden Hazelwood finds himself with a solo shot in the bottom of the fifth. Just his second of the year, and that one, Logan, was absolutely launched.
That's vintage Braden Hazelwood. That's here, right there. We saw that a lot last year, pretty much that exact same home run. It's good to see that off of his bat right now.
As that one, I mean, that did a good job making its way to the tennis courts.
Yeah.
That one was smoked, thrown up into the wind stream, and he got every bit of that one.
Yeah, that's going to lead to a pitching change.
Yeah, so that'll be it for Dayskins. And we'll have a pitching change, and we'll be back in a moment as Grenadier lead grows to 5 after the Braden Hazelwood solo shot here in the bottom of the fifth. Back in a moment. New pitcher for Georgetown is going to be junior right-hander from Clovis, California, number 12, Chris Lineker. Give you his line coming into today. Lineker, in his 10th appearance, has a 11.5 ERA across 15 and 2/3 innings. He'll face Slater Shield, and he'll get ahead. Lineker has a little bit of a sidearm whippy kind of action. And a good breaking ball there has Shield down 0-2.
I can only imagine what that breaking ball looks like out of that arm slot. My goodness.
Yeah, Lineker does set up on the first base side of the rubber. Be interesting if he went to the third base side, as that one did everything it could to try to come back door with two-seam, but it'll miss. That was one of the adjustments I made late in my career, was kind of move it over to that third base side of the rubber as I kind of came across my body. So that one off the hands, not hit far, and Chapman will be there to make the catch. I'll turn the lineup over for Ethan Burdett.
Yeah, I enjoy the combination of Ethan Burdett and Mason White, 1-2. Just the contact guy of Ethan Burdett right in front of a power hitter like that.
Birdie trying to get going today. And Lineker looking sharp out of the pin so far.
Yeah.
That one is going to be fouled back so quickly. 0-2 for Ethan Burdett.
Not sure I trust my athletic abilities enough to catch that one if this window was open. That net wasn't there, obviously.
The 0-2 pitch. Good breaking ball, but that one's going to just miss. It's about as good of a spot as you're going to find. I do think it was the right call, so I'll give Roger some kudos there. But an absolute fantastic breaking ball. So the 1-2 pitch from Lineker. That one well outside. The 2-2. Down the line, another good play from Rios. He's going to have to get rid of it quick. And makes a strong throw right on the money, but not in time as Burdett able to leg that out. As I thought we were going to book into the outs on this inning with fantastic plays from Peyton Rios. Nothing to take away from that play, but Burdett will beat it out for an infield hit.
Yeah, I say about half that team down there. He probably throws out right there. That was an absolute bullet down to first base. But this team does have pretty good speed in the starting lineup, especially.
Rios making up for the error that led to a run earlier. And now that will bring up Mason White. Try to continue his good day. Oh, that one's going to be inside and get away from Von Thaden. So, wild pitch there from Lineker. Will move Ethan Burdett in scoring position. And we'll have a pickoff attempt. That one's going to be thrown into center. So wild pitch followed up by an error, as it's about 45 seconds that Lineker would probably like to forget. See if we can get a confirmed count. I can't. We have 2-0 or 1-1. Not quite sure. That one's going to be hit right at the left fielder, so it's not going to matter, as Lineker works around a couple mental lapses, and the Grenadiers only strike one, but it's on an absolute mammoth shot from Braden Hazelwood, as that lead grows to 5, and we'll head to the top of the 6. IU Southeast 6, Georgetown 1 here in New Albany. New pitcher for IU Southeast will be sophomore right-hander Cade Rush, as he'll step in to face the left fielder for Georgetown, Landon Dismay. First pitch back to the backstop. I'll give you the final line on Cade Reynolds. Put himself together a great outing. 5 innings, 3 hits, just the 1 run, 1 walk, and a pair of strikeouts. So good job there from the senior right-hander, as from one Cade to the next, as he finds himself behind 3-0. Cade Rush trying to get things going into the postseason. Does have himself 17.18 ERA in 7 1/3 innings. And it's going to be a leadoff walk. I wouldn't necessarily quite call it the Y word yet, Logan, but it does seem from the conversations I've had with Cade as well as some of the coaching staff midweek and in his bullpen sessions, he's looking really, really sharp, and it just kind of translating that from the bullpen mound or the practice mound here into the game situations has been the thing that's eluded Cade so far.
Yeah.
As first pitch to Chapman will be high as well.
What we're seeing is, the misses aren't relatively close most of the time either. Usually he's either in the zone or it's, like we just saw that first at bat right there. That's been the biggest thing with his, almost 2-year college career now, is just finding the strike zone.
Yeah, because the stuff is there. Rush does have very limited pitching time under his belt, as he hadn't pitched prior to getting to college. But the stuff is there. The bloodline is obviously there. See if he can't get things trending in the right direction, as that one's going to miss high. Sometimes all it takes is one pitch or one outing to click. And the Grenadiers would love nothing more than for that to happen for Cade Rush, but he's going to fall behind 3-0 to Chapman.
Yeah, we saw that, with many of pitchers at this school. Connor Freeze notably threw 2 pretty good innings on Sunday, I believe scoreless innings.
And that one's going to catch a piece of Chapman. And that'll bring out Brett Neffendorf. We'll see if he's going to try to calm down the right-hander or if we'll have a change. And it appears that we are going to have a change. So an outing to forget for Cade Rush, but we'll be back in a moment, as it appears it's going to be Zach Reisner coming in for IU Southeast. We'll be back in a moment. I was mistaken, as was Zach Reisner, as he started to run out, so I thought maybe he already got the call. Brett Neffendorf is going to stick with sophomore right-hander. See if he can get it figured out, as he'll face the third baseman, Schneller. Fall behind 1-0. Schneller did have the long home run in the 4th inning, so a definite power threat. Off and running, called strike, and gonna say he did not get the tag, as that one was he was around that one. As a good throw from Casey Brown, and Slater Shield just unable to apply the tag.
Yeah, from what I saw, it did look like he got around it on the backside of the base over there. Really nice slide.
Yeah, Dismang. Good job there. Runners on the corners now. That one in there for a called strike. So after 9 straight balls, a couple good bounce back pitches from Rush, and we'll see if he can't get this train rolling in the right direction. That one's going to be off the glove of Flock and thrown down the line. So Georgetown has their second run. And Cade Rush looking for his first out. Good breaking ball. Good job there from Schneller to hold. I definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah, no chance. That's why we're up here. That's why you were on the mound when you played.
I was a PO for a reason. You have that correct. So 2-2 pitch here to Hank Schneller. Buzz the tower, full count.
Yeah, you'd think he gets put on here that the hook would come for Cade Rush.
Payoff. Runner goes. That one's grounded weakly up the middle, but there is Putnam, and a good pick there from Flock. Secures the first out. But moving to third on the play is Chapman. And that's going to do it for Cade Rush. So now we will step away for a pitching change, and it will still be Zach Reisner when we come back here in New Albany. It will be Zach Reisner to face the designated hitter, Cazorla. And he's going to offer that first one, as I didn't reset the thing, so it says strikeout. There was no strikeout. Cannot strike out on one pitch, Logan. Fun fact.
Unless you are a pinch hitter with 2 strikes for some reason.
That one hit off the end a little bit, but still hit far enough. That's going to score the run. So a sacrifice fly for Cazorla will cut the lead to 3. But good job from Reisner to come in and retire the first man he sees. Peyton Rios gets a chance on this side of the ball after some fantastic plays in the last half inning. First pitch he sees is going to be flared out, but caught by Luke Powell. So good job from Reisner to come in and retire the rest of the side in 3 pitches. So Georgetown will get a couple, but Grenadiers still lead this one 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in New Albany. Luke Powell looked to try to start things in the bottom of the 6th. Grenadiers looking to get a couple runs back they gave up in the top half. Lineker back out for Georgetown. Came in and was able to limit the damage.
Yeah, really threw the ball well. Has pretty nasty pitches. A couple that weren't called for strikes, but like that 2-seamer really stuck in my mind.
Yeah, that 2-seamer is going to be rolled over to short, bobbled by Chapman, but should have time, and he does. So recovers to make the play. Lineker retires the leadoff man for IU Southeast. And that'll bring up shortstop Cody Putnam.
Yeah, nice job just to stick with it, knock it down. It's very easy to rush those. But knew how much time he had and fired one over.
That breaking ball just kind of spun, didn't do much, so that'll miss high. That breaking ball much better. In there, called strike. See if the Grenadiers are able to get something going. Don't want to lose any amount of momentum. That one off the hands. That's going to be a tough play. Oh, and a good effort there from the shortstop Vincent, but that's going to be off his hand. Yeah, that a great effort there from the Tiger shortstop, but that'll be a base hit for Cody Putnam. And brings up Colin Long.
Rarely do you see a barehanded attempt out there, but running straight back, just went back to find the ball, and he's like, I'm going with my bare hand. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, most days that's probably the shortstop's heels are on the edge of the infield. But with this wind, that just kind of cue balled and just kind of blew into no man's land. Because, I mean, if you're the left fielder, you're definitely playing a little bit deeper than you would normally just with the wind blowing straight at your face. So,
I mean, the balls we've seen hit the left field have been rockets. So,
Colin Long finds himself quickly behind the count 0-2. Foul ball, called strike. He'll look to extend his at-bat. It's a tough slider. That one misses well outside, but can't be a comfortable at-bat for a right-hander.
no.
Good job by Colin to fight that one off and stay alive.
Now, usually you don't see quite as drastic of splits, righty-righty, that you do lefty-lefty, but when it's coming like that arm motion right there, I mean, good luck.
The 1-2. Bullpen is working down there for Georgetown. See how much longer Chad Miller will stick with Lineker. That one smoked. Taylor made, however, 4-6-3 in time. So the one-out single from Putnam is extinguished as Long's going to ground into a double play there. So for the first time in this one, the Grenadiers don't score in an inning. And we'll head to the top of the 7th, 6-3 IU Southeast. Back in a moment. Zach Reisner gets the nod to go back out for the 7th. He'll face the Tiger catcher, Von Thaden.
Yeah, nice job getting out of the last inning. Going back with him for this one.
Good two-seam comes back to get the outside edge. Reisner not had the best year as far as he's concerned. Does have a 10 ERA coming into this one, so probably a tick lower now. Across only 9 innings. Definitely a guy that you would love to get going and trending in the right direction when it comes to conference tournament time, as he can throw on short rest. He's got what the youths call a rubber arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe we saw at the beginning of the year. He threw, I forget the number, but like several games in a row very early on. And it's like, my goodness, they're going to, Raz again.
2-2 pitch to Von Thaden.
Another guy, another righty with a interesting arm angle.
A little less velo than Lineker on the other side, but weird righties are all the same. As a good breaking ball there is going to be strike 3 to Von Thaden. Good job by Reisner.
Yeah, really nice pitch. 3-2. I mean, normally you're sitting heater, but what was your 3-2 pitch, Kyle?
Cutter.
Always the cutter. You went with cutter in a lot of counts.
Yeah. And it looks like we may have a pinch hitter here, number 4, Enrique Morales. One of two things. Either we missed the sub or it wasn't reported. I can't confidently say one way or another, but that is definitely number 4 hitting. So Morales goes around on that one. So quickly 0-2. Try to give you his line quickly. Enrique Morales, 174 and only 24 at-bats on the year. So looking for a knock here. And that'll be a 3-pitch strikeout as a couple good breaking balls there from Reisner.
Yeah, of course, defensive changes not meant they don't have to be told to us up here. So trusting our eyes, which I wear glasses for a reason. So not the most trustworthy things in the entire world, but a 3-pitch strikeout nonetheless.
And bring up the shortstop, Vincent. Another breaking ball from Reisner. That one misses outside. That one right back to him, and Raz is going to have to make a PFP. And he does successfully. He's fired up. So a good 3-up, 3-down inning from Reisner, as putting in his best performance of the year so far. Keeps this one at a 3-run lead for the Grenadiers, and we'll head to the bottom of the 7th, 6-3 IU Southeast here in New Albany. I believe we have a couple changes for Georgetown. New corner outfielders. In left is number 11, Joey LaPaula. And staying in the game after pinch hitting in right is Enrique Morales. I believe we also have a new pitcher. You got that number, Logan?
It's number 13, Bo Becker.
Bo Becker, the junior from St. Clair, Michigan.
Interesting. I believe he's the only Michigan guy on their team.
Becker does have a 6.38 ERA, and good breaking ball there to Flock, and will be his 11th appearance, only his second non-start, Logan. So
interesting. Maybe
a weekend guy trying to get some work midweek. Does have 36 2/3 innings. As that one will be high to even things up 2-2.
Could be a Cade Reynolds situation, a guy that's started some, came in some, but I mean that's a pretty good amount of starts.
Yeah, and quite a few innings as well. As that one fouled and catches a big old piece of the umpire, but Roger will shake that one off. Must caught him on the mask as he checks it, make sure it's not dented.
Dancing back there just about. Little moonwalk action.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-2 count to Max Flock. Good breaking ball, but lined and caught there by Chapman. So good piece of hitting from Flock, but he will line out to his former teammate as he gives him a little nod and a chuckle on his way back to the dugout. And I'll bring up Casey Brown, who's found himself on base a couple times. Well, I say find himself on base, but he gets courtesy ran for, so has drawn a couple walks at least.
He has touched first base.
And he's going to try to bunt. That one's going to roll foul.
Yeah, really nice job by Casey so far this year, you know, assuming that backup catcher role. We went a couple years there where we saw the catchers in the lineup pretty much every single day. Ben Berenda felt like caught every single game last year with a couple injuries behind him.
Yeah, I honestly, dating back to Trent Simpson in 2016, I don't know of a catcher that truly like split time. I think, you know, the senior year of Tanner Linkneck, which was Brody Tanksley's freshman year, I think was about as close to splitting time as you're going to find. And that catches a piece of the catcher, so he's aboard for the third time today. And we will see Alex Urt again. But, yeah, like I was saying, I mean, really the first time that it's not been the same guy behind the plate for the Grenadiers for the vast majority of the games. I mean, and we're talking 45, 50-plus games. So Casey Brown making the most of any opportunity he's been given, especially it'll be important going into the postseason. Braden Hazelwood. I keep saying brazen a lot today, and that is just nowhere close to correct. So Hazy gets another crack at it, see if he can't follow up his last at-bat. Absolute moonshot of a solo home run.
Yeah, we got a Braden Hazelwood, and then, of course, the pitcher being Raisiner. So there's a lot of different names going on there.
A lot of Z sounds that I have definitely struggled with today. The 1-1 pitch off the end of the bat, cue shot.
Yeah, Hazelwood getting the nod in right field today, and, of course, Mason getting the day off from the field. We've seen Hazelwood play at second base. We've seen him DH, very much of a utility guy.
Yeah, we've also seen him play some really good defense today, right? The diving catch that he had to make out and right. Plays both, like you said, yeah, you mentioned big utility, infield, outfield. He's a guy that will do whatever's asked of him. That one, good pitch by Becker, but outside.
Yeah, we saw him play, I believe, third base a little bit last year.
And even some infield this weekend as well.
Yeah. Guy that does what he's asked. One of the few four-year guys down there.
That one's going to get through, as I could not get the count figured out on the score bug, so that's going to be a full count base knock for Braden Hazelwood, his second of the day. And the Grenadiers are cooking here with runners on first and second, one away. And I think we may have – do we have an ejection right there? I am very confused on what we have going on here, Logan.
Yeah, didn't really see anything, but
so it looks like we
We'll take a look and see if he stays in the dugout down there.
Well, we're going to have a pitching change nonetheless, so we'll be back in a moment, as I imagine whoever comes in is going to get as much time as they need. So, an interesting situation brewing here, but we will step away for a moment as the new pitcher for Georgetown gets ready. All right, so we get some confirmation that Becker was ejected. Not quite sure as the contents, but new pitcher for Georgetown is number 26, Mason Mortimer. And his first pitch to Slater Shield will miss high. Logan, I mean, we looked back on the video and kind of looked like Becker just went right over to the home plate umpire that was shading over to third base and must have said something because it was a quick hook. So,
yeah, I mean,
good effort there to try to pick off Yurt at second. I'm not quite sure how Chapman's able to hang on to that one, but
yeah, like you said, you know, we saw Becker go over to back up third base, and home plate umpire standing right next to him, and there was eye contact made, and Roger, like you said, I mean, he threw him. He made the motion. He made the ejection motion. So
we'll move past it anyway, as that one's down the line fair off the glove of Rios as a good effort. I mean, that saves extra bases. So a good play by Rios to keep it in front as a diving stop, but that's going to be an infield hit for Slater Shield, and the sacks are packed.
Indeed they are. So that brings up one of the better contact hitters in this lineup and the leadoff man, Ethan Burdett.
Yeah, Birdie coming into this one, 357 batting average. And backs that up with a 425 on base percentage as well. So, a guy that if he finds a way on base outside of, I guess a fielder's choice, Grenadiers are looking to extend their lead. But Georgetown is going to bring the infield in with one away here in the bottom of the seventh. Big spot for Mason Mortimer, who thankfully, I guess, for Georgetown, was already kind of down, getting loose a little bit in the bullpen. Was able to get as much as he needed to get loose, but thrown right to the fire. And he'll fall behind 2-0 to Burdett.
Yeah, you heard the confirmation from the dugout being like, how many pitches does he get? And he said as many as he needs. So got ample time to warm up, but still not an easy situation like you said.
2-0 pitch from Mortimer. That'll miss high. 3-0, the last thing you want to do is walk in a run.
Yeah.
And he'll get right back in the zone there.
Absolutely no chance he's swinging on that pitch.
A 3-1 count to Burdett. That one's fouled, so right back in it. Here's Mortimer. Battles back to run it full. Infield, like I said, still in for Georgetown. That one flared down the right field line. Think it's going to be foul. It is just foul.
Wow.
Good effort. I mean, I think off the bat I thought that was going to be well fouled, but I think the wind just gave that a chance and kind of started knocking it back towards the foul line instead of away from it.
Well, especially coming from a righty's bat, usually it's tailing away from the foul line, but that ball just stayed pretty pure.
I was watching. I was like, oh, that's going foul for sure. And then that thing just a couple inches foul. So Georgetown catches a break. Mortimer with another payoff. Strike 3. Good job there by the lefty to battle back after falling behind 3-0. And he'll get the second out. As now Trevor Goodwin will hit for Mason White. Trevor assumes the DH position. I mentioned earlier, Logan, I'm not sure if you were over here yet, but Mason a little banged up this past weekend. So maybe getting the rest of the game off. Hopefully didn't re-aggravate anything. But Trevor is very familiar with the designated hitter position. First pitch to him. That's going to get back out of play. First pitch off the bench, swinging for Trevor Goodwin.
Yeah, we saw. That was after a double on Sunday. Mason White, Grant Shepard was put in as a pinch runner, and then Grant hit for him the next time up. So just a little banged up. It looked like was able to be in the lineup like you said today, DHing.
So bases loaded, 2 outs for Trevor Goodwin. That one to the right side, a good effort by Chapman. And they're going to get him. Great recovery there from the Georgetown second baseman. Is going to get Trevor Goodwin just in time. So Grenadiers do not get any run across. Leave the bases loaded as they'll head to the top of the 8th. The score remains 6-3 IU Southeast. Zach Reisner out for another inning. And that one missed just inside to the leadoff, Desarn.
14 pitches to get, 5 outs?
That one chopped foul. Brett Neffendorf trying to milk everything he can out of Zach Reisner today. As I said, only had 9 innings coming into today. Already an inning and a third under his belt. Would love to make it 2 1/3.
I believe that just popped out of the glove of Casey Brown there.
Yeah, that I guess is a ball.
Yeah.
Because a little outside, so.
I did not hear a foul ball. Yeah. So.
Nope. So 2-1 count to Desarn.
So one thing about Reisner is he's very much a pitch to contact hitter, or pitcher, I should say. So when he's on, he's really on. But as you can see there,
Yeah, lead-off walk.
not what you want. It's free base runners in a very, very tight ball game.
Connor Freeze is warming down in the IU Southeast bullpen. The defensive change is now reported offensively, as that is Joey LaPaula. One of the quirky things that's different from softball and to baseball. Reisner falls behind again. Could be running out of gas a little bit here.
Yeah.
Not sure. We'll see how much more Brett Neffendorf will give him.
Really nowhere near the zone here. As maybe that Georgetown can capitalize on the golden opportunities the Grenadiers squandered in the last half inning.
2-0. That one well outside. Raz unable to find and get back into the zone. Back-to-back walks, so not the start you're looking for till the 8th if you're IU Southeast. And here comes Brett Neffendorf. We'll see if we have a change.
There it is.
And there it is. So we'll be back in a moment as Connor Freeze will be the new pitcher for IU Southeast. Score is 6-3 IU Southeast in the top of the 8th, but Georgetown knocking on the door with runners on first and second, nobody out. We'll be back in a moment here on the Grenadier Sports Network. As I mentioned before we stepped away, Connor Freeze is the new pitcher for IU Southeast. his 13th appearance of the year. Comes in with an 8.53 ERA across 12 2/3. But Logan, as we made note of earlier, I mean, he's someone that's really figured it out as of late.
Yeah, like I said, threw very well over the weekend. And it's a guy who, you know, he's going to be in top 5 of appearances ever at this school. A guy that's thrown in a lot of ball games. So just a guy that you really want on the mound if he's got his stuff.
And a hammer-breaking ball there for called strike 2 to Chapman. Freeze would love a strikeout for the first. See what he goes to. Pitch. Cut on and missed. Oh. An absolute devastating sinker there.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you draw it up.
So Freeze comes in and gets the first guy down on strikes. And that'll bring up Schneller, who you're not out of the weeds yet.
Not at all. We've seen him absolutely pummel a pitch that was left in the heart of the plate. As another one here could tie the game. Really tough position for Freeze to be put in. Runners at first and second facing the 3, 4, 5 hitters. But nice start so far.
Freeze has his sign. That one, maybe a changeup.
Took out some water bottles down there.
Count even for Hank Schneller. Freeze pulls that one off the plate outside. Big spot here for the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. I want to miss high.
Not something you want to do, load the bases up. Because that, you know, obviously bringing the go-ahead run to the plate in that situation.
And the form of the designated hitter, Jose Cazorla. That's exactly what he's going to do. Is that one's going to miss just inside for ball 4. Bases loaded. Still just one away for Georgetown. Knocking at the door. Cazorla, been a free swinger in his first couple of bats. Loves to go early. We'll see if he tries to jump on the first pitch, especially after the walk. He does just that. That fouled out of play, however.
Umpire asking for some baseballs. Yeah, that's a situation. That's a good situation for Freeze right there. I mean, obviously, if you know he's going to be swinging early, they know he's going to be swinging early. So they throw a pretty solid pitch, make him foul it off.
That one chopped, and that's going to be right over the head. That's going to be a couple runs. So just like that, Georgetown strikes a couple, and they're just down 1. Honestly, a good job there from Freeze to induce a ground ball, but that one just chopped right over the head of Shield. Will allow a couple runners to score.
Yeah, that ball was hit straight into the ground, but just a big-time hop. And Slater looked like he thought about jumping, but that ball had carried him way up in the air into the outfield grass.
Brings up third baseman Peyton Rios. See if Freeze can find a way out. That one hit off the end, so that's going to get down. Hazelwood does a good job to come in and at least not allow Schneller to score, but the bases are loaded, and honestly, Freeze is doing everything he can. Not a lot of hard contact. That one, a cue shot just over the head of Burdett.
Yeah, not a great read at second base, so only able to advance to third, but like you said, really making good pitches. They're just muscling him in the outfield for a couple of hits.
That brings up Jacob Von Thaden, and that's down the line. That's going to be runs for Georgetown. And they're going to take a lead as they've put across 4 here and scored now 7-6. And we'll have a courtesy runner, number 33, at second base, Jordan Beard.
Georgetown doing a great job of just finding holes in the outfield. Good things happen usually when you just make contact.
Well, and you'd mentioned it earlier. Now, if they weren't already, the Grenadiers definitely kicking themselves on leaving the bases loaded with less than 2 outs in the previous inning.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the situations you look back on, and you almost feel it in the moment. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you're up by 3. A couple runs here would be big. Didn't score any, so now, you know, if you're a momentum person, you believe in momentum, it goes straight to their dugout.
Yeah, Grenadiers bring their infield in, and a back-to-back great breaking balls from Freeze has Morales down 0-2.
Big batter right here.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. And they're going to have to trade a run for the out as that one unable to be corralled by Casey Brown. So that'll be another run for Georgetown, but Grenadiers do get that second out finally. Makes way for the shortstop, Vincent, still knocking on the door with a runner on third.
Now you take a look up at that scoreboard, 8 runs on 6 hits. So just a lot of free base runners, as that's going to be a weekly hit over there.
Excuse me, swing, and Vincent giving an effort, trying to beat that out, but flip in time. Freeze frustrated, not too much to his doing as he did everything he could. But like you said, Georgetown strikes for 5 on just a few hits, so Grenadiers now find themselves trailing for the first time in this one as we head to the bottom of the 8th, 8-6 Georgetown. Luke Powell will lead things off in the bottom of the 8th as the Grenadiers find themselves trailing for the first time. As Mortimer back out for another inning.
You know, Kyle, I look back at that ejection as maybe a blessing in disguise for Georgetown. Mortimer comes in and gets him out of the last inning, and after, you know, a couple base runners reach. So That's really where the momentum flipped.
Yeah, that is a good point. Sometimes, I mean, it's like a, uh-oh. Did he get it? Nope, that's off the end, so that's going to actually hang up there. Off the bat, I thought he hammered that one, but Morales comes in to make the catch, as the launch angle on that one was prime, but the barrel location was not. So leadoff man retired for IU Southeast. And as I was saying, it's like a fight in hockey where, sometimes someone drops the mitts just to get the boys all fired up, and I don't think that was the intention, of Becker, but it has had that effect. And Mortimer's come in and done a fantastic job thus far as he gets ahead of Putnam. That one's lofted high. Morales on it to make another catch. So not what you want if you're IU Southeast. You give up the lead, and now you have first two men retired on 4 pitches.
And you got 3, 4, 5 due up as well. Feels like on paper, the prime part of your order to do something, and just 2 pretty relatively weak fly balls.
Colin Long steps in for another at-bat. Do anything he can to extend this inning. Grenadiers, no stranger to scoring and manufacturing stuff with 2 outs. We'll see if this one's going to hang up, and that's going to blow back fair as Colin Long's on his horse, and he's going to be in the second with a hustle double. I thought that one was foul off the bat, Logan, and the wind just kind of tossed it right back inside the line.
Yeah, second ball we've seen off a right-hander's bat that just stayed pretty true down the line down there. That one drops in a big-time hustle double. As you could see how fast he was going, he almost slid over the base.
Yeah, out of the box, he wasn't really busting. I think he thought it was also foul, but then once he realized that it had a chance, he got on his horse. So we're gonna have a visit from Chad Miller. He signaled, but he signaled to the bullpen to hold on.
Oh.
Just coming in for a very, very quick word of encouragement, I guess. And
I think that was you have one batter.
That's exactly it. Because then he even signals down to the bullpen with a single finger implying as much. Max Flock now would love the opportunity to strike some vengeance in his former team. Allen well outside. I imagine you're going to see a pretty good challenge pitch here from Mortimer as he's behind the count 2-0. Could be an opportunity for Flock to unleash on one. Pitch will miss low, however, so good spot here for Flock as Casey Brown awaits on deck, hoping for an opportunity. That one's going to catch the bottom of the zone.
Flock trying to talk himself into a walk, or talking the umpire into a walk right there, but not quite. See if he can take advantage of getting another pitch here.
That one's definitely a ball. So 5-pitch walk for Flock, and now runners on first and second for the catcher, Casey Brown.
And here comes that pitching change.
And Grant Shepard going to come in to pinch run for Max Flock, as we will have that pitching change. I believe it is going to be number 7, Julian Huerte, the pitcher/infielder from Torrance, California. So we will pick right up when he gets done with his warm-up pitches, as the Grenadiers are trying to put something together with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th as they trail 8-6. So it will be Julian Huerte coming in, try to extinguish the threat. 2 outs for IU Southeast. And only his 8th appearance. He's got 21 and 2/3 innings and is boasting a 4.98 ERA, so one of the more trusted relievers out of the pen.
That's a pretty good amount of innings, appearance ratio.
Yeah, definitely.
So I almost wonder if
a multi-inning guy generally.
Maybe he. Take a look at his saves there, Kyle. Does he have any saves this year?
Does have 3 saves.
Yeah.
That one's hitting the left, and that's going to get down. They're going to hold him, so the bases will be loaded. So good job by Casey Brown to pass it back another with 2 outs here in the 8th, and that'll bring up Braden Hazelwood with the sacks packed. No saves. My apologies.
Gotcha.
That was 3 games started. So he does have some starts mixed in there.
Yeah, I just happened to look down to the bullpen, and nobody going right now, and this is a save situation in the 8th. So it looks like maybe the 9th would be his too if he were to get out of it.
Big spot here for the senior. Braden Hazelwood already has 1 home run on the day. Would love to get a couple more RBIs, and good pitch there by Huerta.
Yeah, really no chance to hit that pitch.
The only thing you're doing with that is either breaking your hands or rolling that over to the third baseman. So
yeah, Joe Knapp might have to take a skip down there if that ball's hit.
That one breaking ball catches the outside corner 0-2. Big spot here for Braden Hazelwood as he finds himself in the hole 0-2.
Yeah, dugout. It's going to explode either way on this batter here.
The 0-2 pitch from Huerta. Cut on and miss. Fastball right by him. So a huge strikeout there from Julian Huerta as we'll head to the 9th inning as the Grenadiers do not cash in on the bases loaded threat with 2 outs. So we head to the top of the 9th, 8-6 Georgetown. Top of the lineup for Georgetown as Desarn will step in, face the new IU Southeast pitcher Garrett Hill. Garrett, probably the most notable, you'd consider him a closer, but high leverage guy for IU Southeast. Garrett comes into this and what will be his 16th appearance, 25 innings, a .36 ERA. Does have a couple wins, as I apologize for that incredibly annoying noise. As Garrett fires back in with a strike, as that is our resident, very, very loud car that drives around campus very often. Logan?
Yeah, that's about the third time I've heard him today. So
That one chopped and going to be foul. I think intentionally he drives around when we have stuff going on so people hear it.
Love that.
Yeah, you said 3. I have sources claiming that's the 4th time since we've been here today. So.
I was at softball for a doubleheader.
One and 2 pitch to Desarn. Yanked inside 2-2. Hill trying to keep the deficit at 2 and give the boys a chance heading to the bottom of the 9th. Cut on and missed. Strike 3, good pitch there from Garrett Hill as he retires the leadoff.
They'll bring in Landon Dismay on a re-entry. That ball's going to be grounded over to Burdette at second base. Clean scoop over to Flock at first. 2 away. So a quick second out there. That'll bring in Jarrett Chapman. Talk about Garrett a little bit. I mean, really one of the better pitching careers as a reliever as we've seen at this school. Some really, really solid career numbers.
Yeah, his 3rd year associated with the program, but just his second really playing as he was recovering from Tommy John that first year. Only, I think, had, 3 or 4 appearances, but all in the postseason and was electric even then. Good nibble there from Hill, but doesn't get the call.
Yeah, I saw him kind of in mixed roles to begin the year last year, and Ben Real started going to him as a closer, a pretty true closer, and it really worked to success. This year has worked in a couple innings, but in the back half of games usually.
Good pitch in on the hands as Chapman swings over that one. Yeah, Brett Neffendorf uses him much more as just like kind of what you'd see traditional high leverage guy in the MLB today. As the 1-2 pitch misses just outside.
Yeah, and you see a lot of teams, don't save their guys for the 9th inning. They just come like, okay, where's the heart of the lineup coming? Okay,
Josh Hader was the most notable person that started that.
We're going to bring you into the 7th. Garrett really used that.
And he'll run it full to Chapman.
Winds died down quite significantly.
Payoff pitch. Misses outside for ball 4. Good job by Chapman to extend the inning. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Schneller.
Grenadiers looking to get out of this one, just down 2 runs. Georgetown looking to add on.
That one in there called strike 2, Schneller. Start his at bat.
Yeah, that's cheese right there.
Yeah, there's a little wrinkle sometimes, but I mean, for the majority, you know what you're getting when it comes to Garrett Hill. So the fact that he's as effective as he is even more remarkable. As that one's going to be into the outfield and going to be a base hit. Oh, and throwing behind, and throw just pulls Burdette off as they had Chapman dead to rights with a good throw from Powell. But runners on first and second. Tigers not going away, as that brings up the designated hitter, Cazorla.
Dude, that was a very smart play out there to throw back to second base. It's easy to come up and see a guy turning and just throw it immediately to third, but did a nice job of holding. And like you said, a good throw probably gets him right there. But regardless, first and second. Big time effort on that pitch right there. Got a grunt out of him, I believe.
Garrett's known to grunt every now and then on the mound. But a big spot for the senior right-hander from Zionsville, Indiana. Breaking ball. Snared by Burdett as he got up for that one, as that was going to be a run for sure. So Burdett saves a run, and Garrett Hill's going to get out of it, and we'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Grenadiers need 2 to keep this one going, and we'll be back here in New Albany. Slater Shield has the important job of leading off the bottom of the ninth, as the Grenadiers are going to need a rally. First pitch from Huerta is blown right by him, swing and a miss.
Yeah, we talked about Garrett's throwing some cheese. That's some real cheese right there. Huerta's really got it from that right side.
That one down the line. Around first is Shield, and he's going as it's misplayed in left. And that's going to be a double for Shield. So just what the Grenadiers needed, a leadoff base runner and right into scoring position. Turns the lineup over for Ethan Burdett.
Yeah, very interesting there. Was late on the fastball and then comes back with an off speed. I mean, Slater is able to get his bat out and pokes it down the line. Pretty well hit.
Yeah, got down in the corner. Not played too cleanly from Dismang, as he had an opportunity to possibly get Shield at second if he comes up clean, but Huerta right back to work as he gets ahead of Burdett. That one lined right to Chapman at second. So hit on the screws by Burdett, but just one of those days for him. As that'll bring up Trevor Goodwin. And one thing, I mean, we were talking like Huerta has a little bit of gas, but he's got that funky arm angle that makes it kind of even a little hoppier and gets on you quick. Not traditional over the top, really low three-quarter, almost even true sidearm.
Yeah, it's all about release point.
And he's working ahead to each guy he's faced. Big spot for Trevor Goodwin. Check swing. No go, says the umpire, so that'll make it even 1-1.
Yeah, nice hold.
The 1-1. That one's hit well, but positioned out there was Desarn. Shields going to move to third. As I imagine they're not crazy worried about him, especially now with 2 outs.
No, unless the ball goes over the fence, that run not super important.
That one hit right on the button as well by Goodwin, but positioned right where he's at now, just in that right center gap. It's an aggressive shift for Desarn, but it was right on the money as far as the scouting report goes for Trevor Goodwin.
Doing the same here to Powell.
2 away for Luke, and he's going to have to try to beat that one out. It's going to be a tough play, and that's going to do it. So Julian Huerta comes in and going to do it here as the Georgetown Tigers are going to come back with a 5 spot in the 8th to take this one 8-6. It's a tough beat for the Grenadiers, but kudos to Georgetown as they battle back the entire time. We're never out of it.
Yeah, you just turn around and you look at the bottom of the 7th inning, really missed opportunity for the Grenadiers, bases loaded, and they'd turn around and score 5 in the 8th and never looked back.
Absolutely. So Georgetown will move to 24-17, and your Grenadiers will fall to 25-15. I do believe Julian Huerta will get the win.
I'll double check that for you.
He's going to get the win or the save. The win may actually go to Mason Mortimer, as
yes,
I believe that is actually correct here, right? So Mason Mortimer moves to 3-1 on the year, and Julian Huerta picks up his first save of the campaign. Zach Reisner is going to take the loss, I do believe. Let me check. It's going to be between him or Freeze.
Yeah.
As it actually is loss is going to go to Connor Freeze. Came in a tough spot, so that'll be his first loss of the year. Moves to 2-1. That's a tough one, but Grenadiers are going to be right back in action this weekend for senior weekend. As of right now, weather pending, it'll be a Friday single 9-inning game, Saturday doubleheader against IU Columbus. And that will also conclude regular season conference play for the Grenadiers. So keep an eye out on the X/Twitter at IUS Athletics or the Grenadier Dugout Twitter, as if there's any changes to the schedule this weekend, those will be posted there first, and then, of course, on the website at iusathletics.com. But Grenadiers fall in a tough one here, 8-6 to Georgetown. As for Logan Stevens, I'm Kyle Hawkins saying good night, and we'll see you next time.